So if you want to create a referable business, you've got to have that intention. You've got to decide that you want to be it. And so really when we look at it, that's the first decision. Okay, I want to create a business that's purely based on referrals only. So if you're one of those businesses that wants to create a referral-based business, what are the things that you need to do? And if we look at it in terms of, as I mentioned, you've got to decide. You've got to burn the boats and say, okay, this is the strategy that I'm going to use to create that business of my dreams, which is going to be a referral-based business. So then we've got to be referable. So we've got to build the foundations, and the foundations in a mortgage broking business come down to your ability to delight the client, right? So if you can delight the client with your expertise, you can add value around your chosen niche is really important. So if people feel like they're getting something different, right? If you can provide that wow experience, of course, people are going to talk about you and say how great it is what you are doing, and which will then lead for you to be referable. But we need to create those foundations in place first so you can be referable. So we've got to get our systems. I talk in my program about the $1 billion broker loan process. We've got to get that process in place so you first can be referable. Then the next thing you need to do is you need to have a system or process. We don't wing it, right? We need to have a referral process in place so you understand that, okay, if I want to generate referrals from both clients and referral partners, I need a system to be able to do that. And I need to be able to train not only my brokers, but also my staff, because there'll be times when it's better for them to ask for the referrals than it is for you to actually ask for the referrals. So don't wing it. The next thing is you've got to be the expert, right? So you've got to be the one that that they call, and you know, whether it's your chosen field. So whether you're focused on first home buyers, whether you're focused on property investors, whether you're focused on a particular community group, maybe it's from the country of your origin, where you're from. Maybe it's a particular profession like lawyers or doctors that you're focusing on. But really understand that market and be the expert in the market that you're trying to create. Next thing we look at is, hey, it's not just you, it's a team sport, right? So for you to add the best value to your clients and be referable, think about the people on your team. So I talk about networking in two areas, both internal and external. Internal is obviously with the banks, your relationship manager, the credit manager, the estate managers, which will help you get the deal done. The next is your referral partners, and having a team of people that can add value, whether that be a property manager, whether that be a real estate agent, whether that be a buyer's agent, whether that be a solicitor, conveyancer, or a really great accountant. It's a team sport, and you need to have these members similar to the dream team that you can see there. You need your own dream team within your business. So really, really important to create that team of experts to create that referral-based business. One, you'll create more opportunity for your referral partners, but two, you'll get that endless flow of leads for you and your business. So if we look at the things, and if I was to summarize that in terms of the things that you really need to look at, right? So really what we're looking to create is we want to create that business that is an attraction business, right? So if we look at that, what we want to create is we want to create the attraction business, which sort of sits within the middle, right? So why do we want an attraction business? Now, we want this for a number of reasons, right? So it's going to give us consistent lead flow. We're not going to have to chase marketing. This lead flow is going to come into us. We're not going to do lower forms of marketing. So we want to be to get that consistent business. We want A-grade clients. We don't want to be chasing around and looking for business from people who aren't the type of people that we want to do business with. We want that full pipeline so we can choose that, hey, we only want to deal with A-grade clients. And then if we do this to have that sort of attraction business, we also need to have those, not just referral partners, but we need to go a level sort of deeper and have real strategic partners that we add value to their business as well. So this is ideally the outcomes that we want to create, right? So if you want to be that referral-based business that we're talking about, then what are the things that you need to do to be able to do that? So if we look at it, there's a couple of things that you need to do. You need to create your own point of difference. Right. So really important that you can create your own point of difference, because why should someone refer you over someone else if you're going to be the same as the other people? So you need to be able to obviously position that difference as well, which is really, really important. Right. So we mentioned before, you've got to be of value and you've got to be referable. So you've got to provide a valuable service, right? And the next thing we need to do is we need a way, and again, in terms of our systems, where we give those sort of friendly reminders in terms of, well, why we're different. And you've got your scripts and dialogues around why you're different, and this is really going to help in terms of create those referrals, especially from when you're talking to clients or your referral partners about why they should refer to you. Then the next thing you need to be that expert, right? To be that expert, and I say to any people that is just starting in the mortgage broking industry, choose a niche, choose someone that you can be world class at serving. So if it's first home buyers, choose the first home buyers and really become an expert in serving that. If it's going to be property investors, if it's going to be doctors, for example, really understand their needs, their problems, their desires, understand them on a deeper level so you can add as much. So as I said, in terms of this, you want to be that world-class expert is the thing that you want to be to really be able to nail your niche. You want to be really client-centric. And what I mean by client-centric is we want to add as much value as we possibly can to our clients. And as I said, the other thing that we want to do is we want to have that team approach. And again, with the team approach, by focusing on the team and what other people can do for your clients, not just what you can do, you're going to add a lot more value to your referral partners. The last thing that we need, and I talk about this a lot, is we're going to need the referral system. We're going to need that system to generate. And I talk about in my program, we provide the scripts and dialogues. What do you need to do within the first 90 days of the referral relationship? And then what are some of the strategies, which I'll talk about in a minute, that you can work with existing customers as well. So you've got to set the stage in terms of the platform, right? In terms of be that referable business. You've really got to set the stage in terms of being able to do that. Then you've got to work out, all right, who are those clients and who are those referral partners that are going to be my top 20%, that I'm going to earn 80% of the income. So you've got to identify, and then you've got to find a way to partner with those particular people. And the best way to partner is to obviously to add as much value to them as you possibly can, and they'll be willing to partner. And the next thing around, and a lot of people don't do this when they're looking at referrals, is actually track where their referrals are coming from. So they don't actually track it, right? So in terms of, if you were to look at your business, I want you to look at these three things, because we all want that consistent lead flow, we want A-grade clients, and we want strategic partnerships to create that attraction business. So there's three things that you obviously need to focus on to be referable. So in terms of, if we look at the next part, which is, exactly what I mentioned in terms of looking at those strategies that you can use within your business to ask for referrals and get referrals from, whether that be clients or referral partners, right? So these are the 16 strategies that you can potentially look at. Number one is be referable, right? Create those systems and processes that delight clients in terms of really be referable, because if you want to create a referable business, you've got to be referable. Next, you've got to know how to position yourself as different from your competitors. So what do you do better than your competitors? And how can you find a way to articulate that, right? So really, how can you position that to your clients? Next way, to the third strategy in terms of how you could potentially request referrals, is a friendly reminder, right? So in terms of, let's say, for example, you've done a great job for your clients. A lot of people, when they get that thanks, they'll say, oh yeah, no problem, it was nothing, right? But remind them what you've done for them and how you've helped, because I think this is really, really important, right? So tell them why you offer better value than the next person, and be able to do this clearly and concisely in sort of really simple language. The next thing that you can do is you can explain it, right? So explain it to them in terms of why their particular friends and family will be better off dealing with you. So for example, if it was a first-time buyer and you've just done that, so just done a first-time buyer loan, explain that, hey, it's our knowledge, it's the volume of business that we do, it's our knowledge of the first-time buyer market and the different products and services and how the buying process works that sets us apart from our competitors. So if you've got any first-time buyers or friends or family that are looking to do something, please refer them on. All right, so that's an example. So give them the reason, right? Give them the reason to refer to you. And what is the reason, right? So the reason is that, hey, I don't want to spend my time marketing, doing advertising. What I want to do is I want to add as much value to you and to your friends and family as possibly as I can. So the reason that we deal predominantly on referrers is we can focus on really adding value and not having to spend our time, right? So that's the reason, right? So next one is around, telling them why, telling them the reason that you really enjoyed doing business with them, right? So tell them the reason why you really enjoyed doing business with them and that you'd love to help, similar types of professionals. So, look, I found you really highly professional when I was dealing with you. You got the paperwork to me in a real efficient manner. You're exactly the type of person that I'd like to deal with. Like normally hangs out with like. So if you've got anyone similar to you of equal quality, I'd love to assist, right? Because you're sort of praising them at the same time that you're doing that. The next thing, is important as well in terms of if you do get a referral, ask for the warm introduction. A warm introduction is 80% more likely to close than if you just get the name and number. So if you can ask for the warm introduction to that potential, so it might be a warm email introducing the both of you, is going to work well. And always take control of that. So ask for that warm introduction, which is important. Next is around, look to be a giver, right? Look to sort of be a giver. So, it might be you give them a referral gift, right? It might be you do something for them to live in advance. I know I was just over in New Zealand and they gave a debit card, right? So they gave their referral partners a debit card and they said, look, for every referral, we're going to load $400. But it's just a nice marketing tip. They get this, the Visa debit card in the mail as a before they're actually going to get the referral. So what are some of the things that you could give in advance to create that sort of feeling of reciprocity? Right? If you are going to have relationships with the clients, we need to be able to have that frequent contact, right? So the people that are providing you the referrals, so have to be your A grade clients and be on a higher contact frequency than those people that don't give you any referrals, right? So frequent contact is really, really important. So acknowledge those people that have given you referrals in the past and thank them. I think it's really, really important to acknowledge the people that have given you referrals and thank them. So, it might be a bunch of flowers. It might be, just a handwritten note to them, but just really acknowledge them. Another thing with your referral partners that is really, really important is providing that feedback, making sure that you're giving them feedback and you're getting back to them on a regular basis. That's really, really important that, they give you their leads and they want some sort of feedback that, hey, you're looking after them, because this is going to promote them actually giving you more referrals. The law of reciprocity, right? When is the best time to ask for referral? It's when you've done a great service. A lot of people say the highest sort of point in the mortgage process is at the formal approval when they're all excited. So think about that. The best time to ask for a referral is at the time when you've delivered a great service. So again, when a client thanks you, acknowledge, honor that thank you and say, look, yes, Mary, look, it's been great working with you. We went through a lot to get your loan approved. You didn't see a lot what went on in the back end, but we really worked hard. We did this, and this to be able to get your loan to unconditional. So if you know anyone else who's looking for a similar side of service, we'd love to help them, right? So use that those moments of law of reciprocity. If you want to learn more about that, there's a great book, This Influence, by Robert Cialdini, and he'll explain all about the law of reciprocity. So the other thing that you can do with your referral partners is send points of interest. So if you know that they've got any special hobbies, if they want to work on something in particular with their business, send them some points of interest. Last one, it sounds obvious, but a lot of people don't do it. Just ask for referrals. Ask for referrals. Do it in your own style. I've heard some people, pick up the phone and saying, "Hey, no one's mentioned your name to me recently." Right? It's a sort of a way of, in a fun sort of way in terms of asking for referrals. But find some way to ask that you feel comfortable with. Another way, if you don't feel confident with asking, is to ask to advice. Right? So for the newer brokers, call your network and say, "Hey, how can I grow my business? What are some of the suggestions that you would have in terms of how I can grow my business. And they'll come up with things, and it will lead to that conversation where, hey, I might be able to help. You know, who are you looking for? What type of business? Okay. And then, yeah, so it may be a way that you can lead into asking. And last but not least is that simple thank you, right? If you get a lead, if you get a referral, just make sure that you reply. The first thing that you do is you get back to them and you really thank them, because the thanks go a long way. It's so simple, but a lot of people actually forget that. All right, so they're the 16 strategies that you can implement in your business straight away in terms of how you can go about asking for referrals from not only from your clients, but also from referral partners as well. And if we look at it in terms of, and again, this is just part of what we teach in our program. We go into a lot more detail in terms of what you can do in the first 90 days in terms of a referral partner strategy. There's a type referral in the chat below, and we'll be able to provide you a sort of an overview of what that potential looks like and some of the tips that you can use. And also it includes these 16 strategies that you can use to ask for referrals within your business. So I'm Ross Lacane from The Billion Dollar Broker. It's been my pleasure bringing you another tip. I look forward to chatting to you next time.